not sure why I'm going to talk about what I'm about to talk about. It was something I'm thinking about for a while. Like, I feel like I really went through a lot when I was younger. I'm going to talk about this. I've talked about being in the hospital and how it really changed like my social identity to everyone, including to me. And it has, followed me through from the rest of my life, really. It's really hard. But I think how sometimes the way that people talk about this in terms of like getting to be like in touch with the actual reality of things and how important reality really is, to be able to make decisions and to sort of create a life that makes sense. I was forced, because of my experiences, to not put dependence on image and just kind of constructs of what people are and are not supposed to be, and to look much more closely. I mean, over time, what I realized was that really nothing works consistently like trying to do the right thing. It's really true, and it's not like some like goody thing. It really has nothing to do with it. And I think sometimes when the idea of like doing the right thing is also surrounded with kind of extra emotion, like the idea that you're supposed to feel a certain thing or feel a certain way, or like it's not really, a great gesture unless you bring tears to somebody's eyes. It's like, well, really though, that's not I mean, really the way though, for me, doing the right thing first in front of everything else, in front of whims or even needs, at times, and learning to try to make that kind of my first consideration in terms of deciding to do something or decide not to do something. It really, you can kind of allow your whole life to just kind of fall into place around that idea. Sometimes you will get things from it, many times you will not. Things often don't go the way you want them to, but it allows you to kind of keep your feet on the ground, and it gives you a structure for how to think about life and how to do things. And I think it's been really hard to just kind of try to explain this to people who are, their self-image is so exaggerated because they're famous, or because they're powerful, or because they're famous for being powerful, or they get to be influential in a certain way just because they're famous. And so the idea that somehow their whims are the same thing as like really important stuff is hard for me. It's been really hard for me to just kind of realize that that's how they think, and that there's an entire kind of culture built around making other people think that about those people also, which is why everybody wants the idea that, like, particularly immature people, youth, people who don't grow up as they get older, the idea that being famous somehow especially anoints you with like just automatic perfection for the rest of your life is a really dangerous idea. And I'm not the first person to talk about this, but I think what's happened over the past few years shows how very seriously dangerous it is.